All right, so I'm still seeing some myths and misconceptions about the impact of getting lean and staying lean that's been holding some of my fellow bros back from achieving the body, the health, and the vitality that they deserve. And honestly, it really surprises the heck out of me that I'm still seeing fitness influencers and fitness coaches discouraging others from getting lean, saying it's unhealthy and unsustainable, something that you can't maintain. And really, I think there's a few different reasons for this. Number one is that societal norms. Like today, most of our population is overweight or obese, and it's a real struggle to lose weight, let alone maintain it with all the temptations we're faced with, the lack of sleep people are getting, the stress that we're under. It is a challenge. So it's very easy to say it's just too tough to maintain because of where we're at in our society today. But if you look back, I love looking back at the photos of the beaches back in the 70s. I'm starting to see more and more of those comparisons being drawn up there where the beaches were just packed with people who were lean, mostly lean people. I know even for myself growing up, most of the people that I was around or that I saw were lean. Very few people were overweight, let alone obese there. So our societal norms have changed. And I just can't imagine there was ever anyone going around back then looking at all these people on the beach going, oh my God, all you guys, you're so unhealthy. There's just no way you can maintain these physiques year round. Yet that's exactly what they did. It's what their parents did. It's what their grandparents did. That was their norm, being lean. That was their healthy norm. And that is the healthy norm today. It's just our society has changed and we are now more overweight and obese. So when you are at that healthy norm, it just seems so out of place. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons. The other reason that we're having some of these fitness influencers and fitness coaches discouraging others from getting lean, saying it's unhealthy and not sustainable, is that maybe they just had a bad experience trying to get lean. Maybe they took an approach that was just too aggressive, too restrictive. Maybe they're just eating tilapia and broccoli all the time that you see a lot of other people doing, and it just wasn't sustainable for them. They felt deprived. They felt food obsessed during that time, and they're kind of sharing that experience with all of us here on social media. And maybe it was they got to the point they got so lean that they were contest ready. They're preparing for a contest, and like at that point they're just feeling exhausted all the time. They're hardly sleeping. They're cold. Their libido is in the tank, and like this is they associate stage shredded with being lean, and like no one should ever try to get lean. This just feels awful. It sucks. It's terrible. You shouldn't be at this point. So they're sharing that experience, and then others are parroting that. So it's really when you start hearing all these other people parroting, oh my God, I heard my favorite fitness influencer discouraging me from getting lean. We shouldn't do that. That's unhealthy. It's not sustainable. Then you start to question yourself. Like you have an off day. You're like, well, maybe I'm getting too lean at this point. Maybe I'm just not meant to be that lean when really maybe it was just you had a couple nights of bad sleep there. Maybe your nutrition hasn't been on point. You're not providing your body with an adequate amount of fuel, nutrients, macronutrients, and micronutrients to fuel your best and perform your best. Maybe you're just under a lot of stress. So there could be a lot of other lifestyle factors that you get those in check, or maybe just do a week or two at maintenance to get yourself feeling good again. And then you realize, like, holy shit, okay, it's not my level of leanness that's the issue. Maybe it's just been dieting for too long here. It's been months and months in a calorie deficit. Maybe I just need to fuel my body a little bit here and get through a push. I'm mentally and physically exhausted from dieting. I just need a break from this. So you really got to take the perspective of where that person is at in their journey when they're telling you that it's not healthy, it's not maintainable, it's not sustainable to be that lean. And then again, when you hear a lot of these people talking about like when they were that lean, their strength suffered. They were couldn't lift anything at all. And I get those comments in my videos as well. Just recently someone made the comment like they can't believe I'm able to like maintain my strength while being this lean year round. And like I've basically been this lean, staying in my sweet spot for the past 7 years here. When I lost the 50 pounds of fat 13 years ago, I've gone through some muscle building phases and then cutting phases where I stayed lean again for a little while afterwards there. And then whenever I am lean, I don't lose my strength other than when I was contest shredded. When it was contest shredded, yeah, my strength was in the tank there. But staying lean, like beach body lean, I have all my strength there. Like 5 years ago when I was still doing deadlifting there, 430 pounds with a trap bar deadlift for 3 repetitions, I weigh 148 pounds. That's almost 3 times my body weight for for 3 repetitions there. So like people always ask me like when they see my level of leanness right now, like what's your lift with what are you lifting with the 3 big lifts there? And I no longer deadlift anymore. Just the risk reward isn't worth it. Like any kind of my lower back or hip issues have been a result of me trying to lift heavy like that. So now but even with the barbell Romanian deadlift, recently, I'm like doing that for 295 pounds for 10, 12 repetitions with ease. That feels fantastic to me. Dumbbell bench press, I'm usually like 90, 95 pounds for that. 80 pounds easy for repetitions there. Barbell bench press, I'm like the decline bench if you want to. Haven't done the barbell bench press in a while too, but if I reflect back to like, again, 5 years ago or so, I was like 285 pounds for repetitions there. I think 3-4 repetitions with that kind of weight there. So for, again, 148 pounds lean, I've got great strength. So again, you can't correlate your level of strength with yourself like when you're in the middle of a diet, you're near the end of a cutting phase, or you're stage shredded. Like that's not it. Like get lean and then get yourself to maintenance. And then when you're providing your body with an adequate amount of fuel, macronutrients and micronutrients, you're going to be able to still perform fantastic there. The other question I get is like, okay, to maintain this level of leanness, do you have to be low, keep your carbs low? And no, like my carbohydrates, no matter where I'm at in my, whether I'm trying to build muscle or lose fat or maintain my weight, usually about 40% of my diet comes from the source of carbohydrates. A lot of times it's like I'll have oats every day. I have like brown rice, jasmine rice, basmati rice, sweet potatoes, yellow potatoes, veggies, fruits. I enjoy bread from time to time. I enjoy pastries. I enjoy everything. Basically, no, I don't avoid any kind of food whatsoever. I just am responsible with those foods that I eat. So carbs are not off limits. So like 40% carbs for me maintaining my weight. We're looking like 300 grams of carbs each and every day. I don't count my calories anymore. I just, because I'm so structured with the meals that I'm eating, the foods that I'm eating, that I know roughly where I'm at when it comes to my carbohydrate intake. So again, it's always, whenever I decide to track my nutrition for the day, carbs, so it's always falls around 40%, and usually around 300 grams of carbs when I'm maintaining my weight there. So again, just because you're maintaining your weight doesn't mean that you can't have carbs. I love carbs as a source of like my brain function, my performance in the gym, and all of that great stuff. The other thing that comes up is maintaining your weight. You can't be natural if you're staying lean year round. I am 100% lifetime natural bodybuilder here. No performance enhancing drugs at any time in my life here. No TRT, and really no thoughts of that right now. My lifestyle is dialed in. I'm getting 8.5, like 9 hours of sleep each and every night. My stress is managed. I'm consuming whole natural nutrient rich foods most of the time. I enjoy my treats from time to time. I'm responsible with those. Just everything is on point. I'm living a good, active, healthy lifestyle. I'm surrounded by great people. I'm fueling my mind with positive self-growth information. So I'm just like thriving in all aspects of my life there as a natural at this level of leanness. The other thing is, it's really important to like realize that everyone's got an opinion when it comes to how you look, the ideal level of leanness, whether you should be lean or whether it's maintainable and everything. The bottom line is that you've got to be true to yourself. You've got to have a heightened sense of awareness to the level of leanness that's going to serve you best. Some people think I look absolutely phenomenal right now. I'm getting compliments all the time. And then I also get people like whenever I do a video comparing where I was when I was like 25% body fat, 178 pounds. My heaviest was 188 pounds, almost 190. I'm 5'7", by the way. A lot of people think I looked better back then. And whether they think I look better now or better back then or better when I was stage shredded, it doesn't matter to me. That's their opinion. That's great. I'm glad there's a variety of people who think that different appearances are best. But the thing is, like, for those who think I looked best when I was 178 pounds, a lot of people think, oh, that's where you look the healthiest, everything. That was like the unhealthiest I've ever been. Like that was, I felt awful. I was going to bed with acid reflux every night. I was so uncomfortable. I was tossing and turning, couldn't get a great sleep. I just felt full and bloated, lethargic. My performance in the gym certainly sucked. My performance in all aspects of my life really sucked to begin with. Like even just my athletic performance, playing hockey, bending down to tie my shoes or lacing up my skates, I was out of breath. Like it just sucked to carry around that kind of fat. So if someone thinks I look my best at that point, I'm not going to satisfy their opinion by gaining more fat and being up closer to that 25% body fat. I'm going to go with what allows me to thrive. And other people think I looked my best when I was stage shredded. That certainly wasn't where I felt my best. I still felt good. Like I didn't, being a natural, like I didn't push it like crazy shredded with like striated glutes or anything, but it's definitely, as God, probably 8, 9 pounds, 10, maybe even 10 pounds lighter than what I am right now when I competed there. So quite a difference, and I'm really freaking lean right now. I think the biggest difference that I noticed back then, like joint pain. My joints were a little bit achy back then. Libido was still great. Energy was still great. I was still sleeping well. Cold, definitely cold, because didn't have as much body fat percentage there to keep me warm. Wasn't food obsessed or anything because I was still incorporating a lot of my favorite treats and all that stuff. So I didn't find a lot of negative stuff to be stage shredded, but again, I didn't push it as far as some people did. And I took a smart approach by incorporating. I wasn't overly restrictive or overly aggressive with my diet there. So, but again, like that's not where I feel my best. Like I know my sweet spot right now. Again, like I've been 50 pounds overweight. I know that sucked. After losing that 50 pounds 13 years ago, I went through several bulking and cutting phases where I gained 20 to 30 pounds. And again, getting up that heavy, just uncomfortable. It didn't serve me in any way, shape, or form. I didn't gain any more muscle from that process compared to when I stay leaner during my muscle building phases. And during the past 7 years, I've kept my weight in check, like my sweet spot, like gaining no more than 5 to 7 pounds. I find like when I gain more than 5 pounds from where I'm at right now, that's when I start to notice a difference. Again, I still feel good, but I'm not performing quite as well as when I stay in that 5 pound sweet spot there. And when I go lower than this 5 pound sweet spot, again, I still feel good, but I don't quite feel my best. So I prefer to stay in a level of leanness that allows me to thrive, that allows me to feel my best, perform my best, just give the best of myself to all that I'm doing throughout the day. I don't care what other people think about how I look. Really, I'm not even trying to achieve a certain look. It's like I am trying to, basically my body is a product of me doing the things that allow me to thrive, to bring out the best of me, to live my life to the fullest. So getting the adequate amount of sleep, providing my body with an adequate amount of fuel, managing my stress, living a good, fun, active lifestyle without beating myself in the ground, striking that balance between weight training and yoga and mobility and flexibility training and meditating, journaling, digesting a lot of positive information, like doing all of these things to allow me to thrive. That is created the body that I'm at. Like that's why my goal is each and every day to do what allows me to thrive. And this is the body I get from that. So I don't care what others think about how I look. And I'm happy with how I look. And if I thought I looked better leaner, I wouldn't strive for beyond that point where I'm outside of my sweet spot there where I am thriving, because it's just not worth it. Even if I think I look better there, even if I think I look better 10, 15 pounds heavier than I'm at right now because I look fuller, maybe I look more muscular, again, that doesn't matter because that's going to put me at a body weight or a level of leanness where I'm not feeling my best. I'm not performing at my best. And that's truly what matters. And it's really come from experience there. It really comes from having that heightened sense of awareness. It's like, forget whatever anyone else's opinions are. Like, look within. Where do I feel my best? Where do I perform my best? And really roll with that. So be true to yourself. Sure, take in some of the information, hear what others think, but really you got to look within with how you feel.